Welcome back to another episode of Fire Trail, the show that's all about helping you achieve financial independence and retire early. I'm your host, Xiao Yu, and today we're diving into a topic that affects many of us: habits that can keep us poor. But before we get started, I want to emphasize that this discussion isn't about blaming individuals. Instead, understanding these habits can empower us to make positive changes in our lives. So, what are some common habits that can keep people poor? Number one on the list is overspending. This habit significantly impacts financial stability. It involves spending beyond one's means, using credit excessively, or making purchases that aren't necessary. Here's why it's so impactful. First, debt accumulation. Using credit cards or taking out loans to finance a lifestyle beyond one's means often leads to high interest debts. These debts can quickly accumulate, making it challenging to pay them off, especially if the spending continues. Second, lack of savings. When a large portion of income goes toward unnecessary purchases or servicing debts, there's little left for savings. This lack of savings can leave individuals vulnerable to unexpected expenses or emergencies, perpetuating the cycle of financial instability. Lastly, the impact on mental health. Financial stress resulting from overspending can take a toll on mental health. Anxiety, stress, and a sense of helplessness can arise when faced with mounting debts and the inability to cover basic needs. To address overspending, individuals can begin by creating a budget, distinguishing between needs and wants, practicing mindful spending, limiting credit card usage, and seeking financial advice for healthier spending habits. Another habit contributing to financial struggles is the lack of budgeting or financial planning. Budgeting isn't just tracking expenses, it's a roadmap for your finances. It brings awareness to spending patterns, helping identify unnecessary expenses and prioritize financial decisions. A budget aids in systematically allocating funds toward financial goals, whether it's debt payment, savings, or future investments. Budgeting ensures setting aside funds for emergencies, preventing reliance on debt during unforeseen circumstances. Remember, a budget isn't about restriction, but wise allocation of resources. There are various budgeting methods. Find what works best for you. Lastly, a mindset of instant gratification is another habit that can keep people poor. Instant gratification refers to the desire for immediate satisfaction or rewards without considering the long term consequences. In context of financial habits, it often leads to impulsive spending and prioritizing immediate wants over long term financial stability. They might buy things they want without considering whether they can afford them or if they truly need them. This behavior often leads to debt accumulation, especially when using credit cards or loans for instant purchases. Also, instant gratification can hinder the ability to save money for emergencies or future goals. Rather than saving for a rainy day or investing in long term plans, individuals tend to spend their money as soon as they get it. People who prioritize instant gratification often neglect budgeting or financial planning, which are essential for long term financial health. To overcome this cycle, practicing mindfulness before purchases, setting clear financial goals, and creating barriers to impulsive spending are crucial steps toward prioritizing long term financial well being over immediate desires. As we conclude, it's important to recognize that overcoming these habits isn't easy, and it often requires a combination of effort education, and support. Addressing these habits isn't just about individual change, it's about advocating for systemic changes that support financial education. Thank you for tuning into this episode of Fire Trail. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast and leave us a comment. Thanks for listening. This is Xiao Yu, wishing you all the success and happiness on your financial journey.